It's one thing to have the authority of Christ in a certain area of your life. You got dominion, you're doing the thing, you're reflecting God the way you're supposed to, but then you got the other side of your life that ain't working. That mean it's out of your control. So we as human, we still try to control the uncontrollable. When you find out that you cannot control certain things in your life, beloved, that's when you're supposed to surrender that thing, that person, that place, that opportunity, that job, that circumstance, that pain, that suffering. Surrender it to the Lord. We can never wear the hat of God. It don't fit. You understand?
Here we are, grand and rising. Grand rising.
Grand rising. Here we are, grand and rising on this beautiful and blessed fervent Friyay rising. Beloved, honestly, I'm just gonna tell you straight, okay? Full stop. If you find yourself struggling in an area, and we all do, okay? But the Lord said, "Be holy as I am holy." Now, a lot of us hear that and we think perfection. God is not calling us to be perfect. He's calling us to be righteous. And it's very doable. A lot of us think that, oh, I'm just human. And then we listen to the lies of the enemy and we just think that we can never attain this thing that God is calling me to do or calling me to be. But we can. If God has told you to do something, if God told you to go somewhere, if God told you to say something, whatever God told you and instructed you to do, beloved, it is doable, meaning it can and should be done. So on today, I want to encourage you to fervently surrender. Okay, many of us has to surrender actual things like material things. Some of us need to surrender a heart posture. Some of us need to surrender a mindset. Some of us need to surrender vices and habits. Some of us need to surrender just emotions, right? It doesn't matter who you are or where you are in your life. All of us have to come to a place and moments and times where we surrender the things that we are trying to control, the things that we are trying to dictate and take authority in. We need to surrender them to God. And if you ever realize certain areas in your life where you're literally struggling, okay, it's one thing to have the authority of Christ in a certain area of your life and you dominate, okay, you got dominion, you're doing the thing, you're reflecting God the way you're supposed to, but then you got the other side of your lives, right, where that ain't working, right? That mean it's out of your control. But in those places, we as human, we still try to control the uncontrollable. Beloved, when you find out that you cannot control certain things in your life, beloved, that's when you're supposed to surrender that thing, that person, that place, that opportunity, that job, that circumstance, that pain, that suffering. Surrender it to the Lord. Because when you no longer have control, that's when it's his job, beloved. And we can never wear the hat of God. We can never wear the hat of God. It don't fit. You understand? So, beloved, I want to encourage you today to fervently surrender those areas of your life that you've been trying to control so badly. You've been trying to make things work. And God is saying, take your hands off of it so I can do what only I can do in the way that only I can do it. My God. And beloved, after that, I'm telling you, and I tell you guys all the time, I'm telling you something that I live, I experience. At that point, your mind is going to be so blown. And then you're going to look back and say, why me never let go of this long time? Why me never listen to my Abba long time? So I'm encouraging you today for the rest of this weekend and for the rest of your life. When you find places in your life that become toxic or hostile, not even just physically or naturally, but internally, beloved, surrender it to the Lord and watch God show up on your behalf. It is not his good pleasure for you to be down and out and suffering in limbo. That is not his good, perfect, and pleasing will. So, on today, surrender. Let it go, release it, and leave it at his feet. And trust that he will be exactly who he says he is. He is the I am that he says he is. I love you guys, and I'll see you on next week's Grand Rising.
Grand rising.